I actually began to just commute from Clayton County to Atlanta, and on my morning commutes, I would see people up on the bridges. And once I started noticing them, I began to see them everywhere. Under a bridge is just like a public space. There's no presumption of privacy. So I did not have to ask anybody to take their pictures. Just like I could walk up to any of you on the street and take your picture. There's no presumption of privacy. You might not like it, but it's legal. So, but I realized that I was in these people's homes or living rooms or bedrooms, and so I wanted to be respectful. That was the first thing I wanted to do. So I came up with a prime directive, 3 questions, and that is, what's your name? Where are you from? And can I take your picture? This was my first picture. And this is Hill Street Bridge. It's posted here right at the back in green. And as I'm walking toward this bridge, and I think if you look at day 1, it really explains it in a lot of detail. I'm walking toward this bridge, and I finally see people. So all these years, at least 10 years in the making, me thinking this through and cataloging where people live, I was finally there, and this was the first picture. So what I realized is that as I began to shoot this thing, I began to even notice more than I thought. People were everywhere. And some of the most innocent looking places that you would think there wasn't people, there were people. After being, the pictures that you see now are the pictures that made the most impression on me as I was shooting this expose. When I think about this now, 2 things stick out. But before actually, because it took a while to catalog and group this and get everything ready for a presentation, and before I actually presented this, I went back out on the streets. And this time, it was more troubling to me because I saw kids. And the whole time of this, I was shooting in 2011, I saw no kids. I went back out there just before this. I released this late last year, middle of last year. I saw kids, lots and lots of kids on the bridges. So that was very different for me. The other thing is that, in retrospect, I wish I could have. I wish I could have asked him. I maybe should have asked him a 4th question, and that was, what drove you here? It would have made it so much longer. I'm not a writer, and I would have needed somebody there kind of asking the questions. But I wish I would have asked that question because they all have a story. They're all interesting. They're all people, and then they changed my life. So I went in as a photographer, just cut and dry, but I came out very changed in my perspective.